the Harvest Festival. And then from there on, I will divert a little bit how our native customary laws or the undang-undang of the Mahkamah Anak Negeri is derived from the innate of our forefathers or our Bobohisan in the early days. Okay, please proceed to the next one, please. Yeah, this is a typical innate which I got from Gundhaing Ignatius Buji some 12 years ago, and he has given me his permission to use this whenever there is a discussion on the innate, on the people of the Kadazan. And I just want to read, or you can read yourself, but I like to share here that this is how our Bobohisan or Bahong Kitas, a senior priestesses, how she introduces herself to Kinaingan, God. That she is indeed a Bobohisan, a Tandu, a lady of the Kadazan. Okay, and this is from Odo Ginayang, who lived somewhere around 1900. And the late Dr. Justin Stimo had verified this. And what it means when we say Kadazan is actually just simply people. So when we say Kadazan Membakut is people of the Membakut. It's as simple as that. And the icon that I have there is Odu Bianti Ginda, sorry. She is the mother of the late Dosia Mojing of Mansapiat, and she is the seventh. Dosia Mojing is the seventh descendant of well-known warrior Mansapiat. Next one, please. And who is this Odu Bianti? Odu Bianti is related to our dear friend Richard Simon Punai, and who has given me the permission to use this wedding of his father and mother. This took place on the 13th of August 1967. And this is the lady. This could be her last performance in a wedding ritual. And you can see the siung there, the hat, the Kadazan, typical Kadazan hat, being placed on the two lovely couples. And they could be stepping on the stones. Yes, next one, please. That's Odu Bianti. And as I've said earlier, we are talking about, I'm sharing the creation of the universe and man. So I'll start with this excerpt of the innate by courtesy of Reverend Mojing, who is a monk, some in UK, and it is the real original text in Kadazan, and there is a translation also prepared by him. I have this taken from a group many years ago that called themselves Classic Kadazan Group on Facebook, and it has captivated my interest when it says that tao ko po otuhon, hadaw ko po tuang, tao ko po Kadazan, hadaw ko po kabiyan, tao ko po tanga, hadaw ko po tongtingan. I will just read this one, and perhaps you could read it yourself. And the translation is as simple as this one. Let us make man, let us create people, let us make the Kadazan race, let us create the Kobyun race, let us make Tanga race, let us create the Tambingon race. All are very deep language, vocabulary. It doesn't exist anymore, but some of the words are still understandable by us, the young generation.
Blasius,
Yeah.
Just to inject, everyone, those who are not speaking, please mute yourself. Boyd and Richard, please mute them, please.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. So can I proceed, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. And please go to the next slide. And the creation of the universe and man, or the man, as per the previous slide, reminds us very much of the creation in the Bible. It's in the Bible, and in this slide, I am sharing how the universe was perceived by the Bomohizan, and that's how they have been, I assume, and I believe, I have reasons to believe that they knew that there was this creation of the world, creation of earth, creation of the universe. And it's similar to Genesis in the Bible. The text of the Bomohizan is simply too deep for me to understand, but what it means is that that was the situation at that time. Okay, next slide, please. And this is another one, also telling us about the the creation of the universe. In this slide, I use an illustration that much of what was our Earth, our planet Earth, was just water and air. That's all. So there was nothing. And I've read this part of the Bible, and it says something like that. So that is simply amazing to me. And the more I read this one, the more I became curious about the creation of the universe, man, from the Kadazan perspective through the Bobohizans. Next one, please. This is specifically for the creation of man. So you see what I have highlighted there, Tanak Kinusay, Tanak Ginando. So the creation of man and woman. And in this case, I want to assume, or it's not assumption, but this is a strong belief among the Kadazan, even before the arrival of Christianity. You know, there is God, and there was this insight to say that Kinaingan created man and the earth. Next one, please. And now are the states of the story of the princess's prayer text. This is a stage when paddy planting season came, and Kinoingan went to his designated paddy fields up in the hill, and he cleared the area for him to plant paddy. Next one, please. And Kinaingan spoke to his partner. As far as I'm concerned, to my understanding, Kinaingan is the creator, and he can speak in plural tense, not in singular, just like in the Bible. In the Bible, it says, "Let us make man." Oh. So in the Kadazan Unite, it is also like that, that instead of in plural, because we don't have this plurality term in Kadazan. So it is simplified as Kinaingan spoke to his partner. There will be famine. We need seedlings for planting of paddy. Let us go and ask men, referring to the people that he has created, if they have stocks of paddy seeds. Next one, please. And then his partner as it is mentioned in the night, Huminodon told Kinayngan that he, as God, does not even have paddy seeds at that time. And it seems unbelievable for Kinayngan to go and ask the people he created if they have the paddy seedlings. Next one, please. And so, the text of the prayer of the Bohizan, the priestesses, goes on to say that Kinayngan and Huminodon had a daughter and referred to as Penampuan. Next one, please. And Huminodon, while God was away in searching for paddy seeds, she waited and waited for the return of Kinayngan. But Kinayngan appeared to be nowhere and not in sight. Probably in her mind, God is not coming back anymore. Huminodon gave up hope for the homecoming of Kinayngan. She gave up hope. So Kinayngan to her is not coming. So Huminodon decided to take a decision on her own. She took her daughter to be sacrificed as seedlings. And this is a common belief among the people of Sabah, the native people of Sabah, that a woman was sacrificed to become seedlings as tournament for to save men from famine. Huminodon secretly worked out a scheme that made Penampuan to sleep. That's a story, a very popular story in the ancient days. And then Penampuan, the partner of Kinayngan, the daughter of Huminodon, was stabbed by her mother. She didn't even have any time to ask why she had to die. Next one, please. As soon as Penampuan died, the body parts turned into numerous types of food. And if you ask any Karazan, any natives in Sabah, they'll tell you that the body is so sacred. It's very, very sacred because it came from the various parts of a human being. That is Penampuan. Next one, please. And this is my illustration. I'm taking the coconuts for an instance while we have the party, but the coconut is so glaring that if you remove the husk of the coconut, giving you the shell, you will observe, first and foremost, you see these two eyes, the nose, and one small mouth there. And normally when we drink coconut water, we normally cut this part of the coconut to enjoy the coconut water. Next one, please. So it looks like very much like a human skull, you know. And then at that time, just then Kinayngan returned home. He had no seedlings, of course. And he looked up towards the hills that he had cleared early on. And to his big surprise, he was shocked. He had a shock of his life. The hills that he had cleared is now full of paddy plants. And the best part of it was the paddy. The paddy is ready for harvesting. As indicated in my illustration, it's golden in color. It can be seen that even these days, if you go to a paddy field, if you see a golden top of the paddy plant, it's ready for harvesting. It's fully ripe. It's ready for harvesting. Next one, please. And then You know what happened? Kinangan then started asking, investigating Huminodun, where his beloved daughter Penampuan was. Huminodun tried to hide it, to deny the strange absence of the woman Penampuan. But Huminodun finally admitted that she killed Penampuan. She killed her daughter. She killed the beloved daughter of Kinangan. And her parts of the body turned into paddy and other type of crops. Next one, please. And God, Kinangan was furious. At the same time, he was saddened by the loss of his beloved daughter Penampuan. What he did was he took a ilang, a sword, we call it ilang locally, and started slashing all the paddy plants that is now ready for harvesting. And he was really furious. He didn't want to see the plant. He wanted his beloved daughter back to life. Next one, please. Another this is just my illustration. I took it from somewhere, but it serves the purpose of explaining what this innate means. So, Penampuan told her father, this is the voice from the paddy fields. My father, Kinangan Kapunan, my father, calm down. She tried to calm down the Kinangan. Take a rest for a while. Do not be sad. I will always be at your side. Know that all food crops are part of my body. Paddy is from my blood and flesh. This is very tragic, but very touching to me. I'm not sure the rest of the audience, how they feel about this one. Please take care of the paddy, for my soul and spirit, flesh and blood are with the paddy. And this goes to say that the Kalasan or the Dusun or any natives in Sabah place the highest regards, the highest respect for paddy. If you go to a typical native house while they're harvesting, even the drop, just a single seed of the paddy drops on the ground, the woman, our elders, will pick it up and make sure it is placed back into the proper place, into the basket where paddy is collected. Because every bit of the paddy represents the soul, the flesh of a woman who has been sacrificed to save mankind from famine. Next one, please. And then, after the sacrifice of Penampuan to save man from the great famine, Kinangan and Huminodun decided to go back to heaven, to Himabo, which refers to, in the native belief, it's seeking abode on the sacred mountain of Mount Kinabalu. So we have this strong belief among the new generations that when we die, our soul will go up to heaven, and we have to climb up Mount Kinabalu. And from Mount Kinabalu, we'll be in heaven from there on. That's how what the Karajan believe in spiritually. Next one, please. And then before they went up to heaven, that means Hibabo, Kinangan and Huminodun gave 7 commandments to men. It's all there. You can read it for yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, The essence of these 7 commandments is very simple, very basic, but it reminds me personally of the 10 commandments in the Bible, which is handed to our men. And it's amazing, you know, our ancient people, our ancestors, know that there was this Kinaigan, and he created man, he created the earth, created the stars in the sky. And they went back to heaven. They went back to heaven, but they gave us this beautiful 7 guidelines of life. Next one, please. And I read from the book by George C. Woolley that OKK Lojunga from Putatan, I think this grand gentleman, may his soul rest in peace, related, he is a very knowledgeable on the adat of the Kadazan, the native customary laws of the Kadazan in Putatan. And he related this verbally to one Pangeran Osman bin OKK Pangeran Haji Umar, who is of Brunei descent. And this gentleman, this Tabai, this Bruneian gentleman, he recorded in Brunei Malay. And later on, when this British officer, George C. Woolley, saw the document, he became very excited and very interested. He translated that into English. And that's why it is the source or the beginning of our Adat Mahkamah Anak Negeri. If you go and read the essence, the contents of Adat Mahkamah Anak Negeri. Next one, please. And there was a project one time in which I was involved, and this one was initiated by the then Tan Sri Richard Malanjo, now Tun. And he asked, I was present in that gathering, that since I have some idea about the Kadazan Adat, and I have lived through about the Kadazan Adat through the Innight, though I am not knowledgeable, but he said basic knowledge is good enough. You can start, try and dig some more of our Kadazan Adat Istiadat. And I've searched, I took samples of the Adat from related by OKK Lojunga. Then the other one was a later version of the Adat Istiadat from Papar. So I had that prepared, and then I was invited to present it to these 2 professors from UITM to be further research, and with the hope that it would be encoded into a complete law for the natives in Sabah. And that's it. That was a few years ago. Can we move on to the next slide, please? Then I am not very familiar about what these festivals, the rituals of the Kadazan, but I opened the Kadazan Dictionary by Reverend Father Antonison. It was published in 1958. This book, for information, was his manuscript was actually burned by the Japanese soldiers in Pinampang, and almost burned, but the Kadazan woman from Tambunan took it and kept it in spite of the danger of taking the partially burnt manuscript by Reverend Father Antonison. And later on, it was recovered in Tambunan and returned to Father Antonison after the war. And it was printed in in Australia, in Canberra, through the help of Colombo Plan, through the Colombo Plan, and printed by the government of Australia at the time. Next one, please. You have this one, Momongkos Mamagon abstinence. This is very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. In Sugut, not many years ago, we had this practice. We dedicate one day in a year where the farmers are not allowed to go to the field, not to pluck any green things, not to dig the soil, dedicated to earth, nature, dedicated to nature. And then there was this also barrier for villagers to leave the village, but if they are not allowed to return to the village until sunset. Similarly, visitors into the village, i.e. in Sugod, Kampung Sugod, Pinampang, if we had visitors, they will not be allowed to leave until sunset. If they do that, if they leave before sunset, then they are bound to give sogit, I mean, to appease the spirits of the earth for, I mean, polluting the paddy fields. Mamantas, these are all strange to me actually. And come to this one, the one only Magavao, Tadao Kaamatan now, it's there. It is the Kadazan Harvest, and it's documented, recorded by Reverend Father Antonician, though he's an European, but it's documented there. So that's why I took this as my source of material for sharing. Next one, please. This one, this image is very popular. You can see this anyway. It's Magavao. I believe this one is from Putatan or Trawe or Monsapiad. Next one, please. This one is one slide. I put everything there, very compact, so that you can read for yourself and how Kaamatan came about in North Borneo during the days of the British colonial government. In 1956, there was this District Chiefs and Native Chiefs Conference in Bangkok, Kiningau, and there was this proposal, this motion by Okeke Solomon, the Grand Okeke Solomon, a well-known figure up in Kiningau. And he said, Kadazan Harvest Festival. He said that it's documented. If you read Connie Lupang's book, he says that it was called Kadazan Harvest Festival, but that is not the point I'm saying. But he wanted the Magavao to be made a public holiday by the British colonial government. So it's not Malaysia yet. That was in 1956. And Donald Stevens, later to Fuad, was invited to the site of Kadazans in Kampung Plawan, Pinampang, 1957. Later on, he became the vice chairman and appointed as advisor. But in 1958, ladies and gentlemen, Tun Fuad, or rather Donald Stevens, was elected as chairman of the site of Kadazans. So he had a platform to meet, to discuss with the British colonial government. Say, okay, British colonial government, we are the Kadazans now, we are the Dusuns now, we are the people of North Borneo, and our festival is Kaamatan. So Okeke Solomon and Donald Stevens brought up the motion to the British colonial government, and it was approved. The British colonial government finally approved it in 1960. Next slide, please. Next slide. Scroll down, please. This is the gentleman I was talking about. He lived a long age. Donald Stevens is unfortunate. I think he was just 56. Too young to die. but that is not our story. Next one, please. This one is a popular image. Harvest Festival of Pesta Kaamatan was approved by the government on 9 May 1960, to be precise, and the first celebration for those who are of my age, they have heard this, 30th of June to 1st July 1960 at the St. Michael's School, Padang in Penampang. And it's also very interesting to, to note that the first Undong Adaw of the Kaamatan, Undong Adaw of the Kaamatan, 1960, was a lady from Dongawan by the name of Yang Mi Lang. Most of us from Sabah, they know this story, and but I just flash it here to remind us this is the first Undong Adaw. She is Chinese, but Chinese in those days are considered Sino Karazhan, and the Chinese at that time, they were proud to be referred to as native. So they are proud of their culture, of their ancestors, great-grandfathers, grandmother, and she is fully attired in Karazhan costume, and that's her. The first Undong Adaw of our Pesta Kaamatan. Next one, please. If you are interested to read more about Kaamatan, you have a lot of materials these days online or social media. It's all there. But I just want to invite, ladies and gentlemen, our audience, to just take a few moments sometimes when, after listening to my sharing, ponder on the following things, which is to me very amazing, and I cannot find the answer myself. I need help to understand it better. So you are the right people to look at this one. My questions are, ladies and gentlemen, is on the next slide, please. Next slide. I wonder, how did the Karazhan ancestors, our ancestors, not just the Karazhan, through their Bobohisan predecessors and also the senior Bobohisan called Bahongkitas, come to know that there is God? We always, I mean, I can only say for myself, I grew up and I was taught that if you attend a Bobohisan ritual, it's a sin. It's a sin to attend. And because they teach you about black magic and Satan. And how did you know? How do you know that there is God? And this has prompted me to read this Michael Morales Subinan's book. And in fact, Bobohisan believe in God. And before they opened their petitions, they read the entire text of the creation of the universe and man before they present their petition to God. That's what I understand. Simply amazing. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, as Karazhans, are we not from the same, the first man and woman on earth, i.e. Adam and Eve, or our Muslim friends, Adam dan Hawa? Are we? But even if Christianity had come just yesterday, I would still believe that we are created by God. Who is the first man on earth? Without Christianity or without Islam, I would believe that there was the first man and the first woman. But without reading the text from the Unite, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know who is Kinengan and Uminadun. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. You can read it for yourself. Next one, please. Number three, how is it that the ancient Karazhan knew about the creation of the universe and man, even without any kind of education? or written records. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the Inite is all memorized, committed to the memory of the Bobohizan, passed down from generation to generation. And there is a school as called Pongyaan to teach the Bobohizan by root. Can you imagine? There's no text. Or they have, is it possible that they have their own script? Like the Chinese, like the Jawi, but lost it during the migration from the cradle of civilization, that is in the West. I will not mention the specific place because I grew up to believe that civilization started somewhere in the West. I've read another book written by a British officer during the colonial government. It says that the Kotabalut folklore tells of a story how a certain migratory native people lost their little script. In Kadazan, we call it suat. What it means is surat. Surat, the script. When they crossed the Kadamayan River in Kotabalut, while heading for higher grounds, while heading for a new settlement or safer place toward Nabaho. Nabaho here refers to Mount Kinabalu. Our beloved, our mighty, majestic Mount Kinabalu now. Next one, please. And why are we the Karazans on this part of the whole island of Borneo? Why? You go around the globe, it seems to me that Borneo Island is the place where the people of the Dusun Karazans are found. How is it? Has it got to do with the biblical creation of the universe and man, the first man? Or are we here because of the great flood? I'm using this one as an illustration, just to remind of those who have read the Bible about the great ark of Noah. That's it. Next one, please. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, when we speak different languages, now in Sabah, we speak different languages, but somehow they are identical. Is it because of the Tower of Babel? This is also in the Old Testament, also found, I think, in the sacred book of Quran, the Tower of Babel, how men tried to become God, tried to reach heaven, and which did not please Kinayngan, God. So he said, okay, you will not go up that high. I will make your languages different. And then they spoke different languages immediately. When one carpenter asked for a hammer, he might have got something else. He might have an axe. So they couldn't understand. Next one, please. That was just an illustration. The Karazans believe in a code of life. Yeah, the Karazans believe that there is this code of life in the name of now the 7 commandments. They believe that even before Christianity, before Islam came to the source of Sabah, in this Babahisan prayer, Kinayngan and Huminodon gave us the 7 simple commandments, which are in a sense the essence of the native customary laws. If you have time, please read the Makama Anak Negri, the latest one, the enacted by the government of Sabah. Are there similarities? I'm curious to know, are there similarities in the 10 commandments of the Bible and the Makama Anak Negri, or the 7 commandments given by Kinayngan and Huminodon? I leave this to you, my friends. You can research on your own, but I'm just giving you the surface of what I have found. I find it very interesting. Next one, please. I think we are coming to the end of our presentation. Next one, please. Yeah, we are there. Katahanan. Thank you very much, and I wish everybody Katabayan Tara Tagazada Kaamatan a very happy Harvest Festival. Peace to you all. Thank you.